Lovely shot there, high above McDonald Jones Stadium here in Newcastle. Head-to-head, 24 wins each between these clubs. The Knights went on a very dominant run there against the Panthers through the 90s and the early part of the 2000s, but more recently Penrith have been very dominant. I think it's 11 in a row, actually, that they've won. There's the Knight in all of his glory, and there's Kalyn Ponga, one of the Origin Brigade, backing up from Wednesday night. Played well for Queensland, and Dane Gagai will also turn out for the Knights this afternoon, who have won just 1 of 5 here at home in season 2022. Cameron Smith, Phil Gould up here. Cam, you know all about backing up from Origin. 5 of the 6 Panthers will back up in both of Newcastle's Queenslanders to play today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon, everyone tuning in. It's a big ask, isn't it, to play in such a high-intensity match like State of Origin. Wednesday night, that man there, Dane Gagai, was a star for Queensland, as was Kalyn Ponga. But there's a few Blues players lining up for the Penrith Panthers, and I'm sure they'll be out for a really, really big match today. That man there, Nathan Cleary, Liam Martin, they'll be key components of this Penrith outfit this afternoon.
Kalyn Ponga with an excellent hand for the Maroons on Wednesday. Can he replicate that here and spearhead his team towards maybe an upset of the Panthers? There'll be some heavy legs out there as Sunday footy's underway with James Fisher-Harris carting it back to get us underway in resplendent sunshine here in Newcastle. And now the try-scoring whiz. Taylor May scored 3 tries when these teams met in Bathurst in round 3. That ill-fated afternoon where Mitch Barnett was sent off for that tackle on Chris Smith. Played now by Leota. And Nathan Cleary for Liam Martin, who played 80 minutes for the Blues, made 50 tackles. Centre of the 30-metre line, Coruscant. For Matt Eisenhuth, got a nice rap from the fill-in coach Cameron Ciraldo, speaking with Emma pre-game, said he was one of their best players last week. It was Cleary, clears one out. And Edric Lee with the take, 15 out from his own line, confronted by a wall of black as he runs back. So you can't doubt the enthusiasm of this Newcastle crowd. They are packed in here once again on a coolish afternoon. Darren Lockyer sideline. G'day, Lockyer.
Good afternoon, Tomo. Yeah, it's a little bit cool, but not as cold as it's been across the eastern seaboard over the last couple of weeks. Current temp 17 degrees. There's no humidity. The ground's dry. There's a bit of a breeze though coming from the west. Joey said in the footy show this morning that allows the wind to swirl in this stadium. So keep an eye out for some of those torpedo bombs from either Nathan Cleary or Anthony Milford.
Yes, well, after 2 Sundays in a row down in Canberra, Darren, this will feel like the Bahamas for you. There's a high one by Clifford and a nice take by Taylor May. A couple of super boots in the 7s. Clifford, he really gives the ball a whack, and we know how good Cleary is. Isaac Tangor with it now. That's the Samoan pronunciation, and he has a Samoan background. Isaac Tangor. A good player, making a real impression. 8 tries this year, his 14th game of the season. Now Edwards within 7 of the halfway. And now Fisher-Harris gallops in the Newcastle's half on the last tackle. Made a real whack off the boot of Cleary, and once again he targets Edric Lee. 13 tries in 16 games here at McDonald Jones Stadium for Edric. He'll head to the Dolphins next year. Ponga waiting for it. Here's Dom Young. And here is some very strong, aggressive defence by the Panthers. Kick out and Eisenhuth. Gagai. He was presented with the Dick Tosser Turner Medal on Wednesday night. 20 games in a Queensland jersey. Cam, it's a great accolade, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big achievement. There's only been a number of players to be able to achieve that mark in Origin for Queensland. It was a special night for him and the rest of the side.
They're going kick for kick at the minute. That one just hanging up there in the breeze. Edwards, so solid. And he shows a good turn of foot here. And here we go. Crichton makes good territory there and plays that very fast indeed. Cleary for Brian To'o. Off the back of 218 running metres for the Blues. Now Crichton again.
The Panthers get great service from their back five, don't they? Their centres and wingers and fullback. They drop back to help the fullback on every kick reception, and they've just made 60 easy metres there.
Lovely play now. And Tangor, he's got May on the outside. There's 4 Newcastle players surrounding him. Amongst them, the ever-aggressive Gagai and Young there as well. Only tackle forward, though. They're just outside the 10. Cleary has a look, doesn't like what he sees. Oh, he does, in fact, love what he sees. Look at this, the 6 and the 7 combining. Out of nothing, out of absolutely nothing. Cleary threw one to Luai, he chucked it back to his skipper, and Penrith have scored.
And this is the benefit of time spent playing together. They talk about combinations and your amount of time in the game, and particularly time as a combination. These two read each other beautifully on the Isuzu MUX replay. Panthers go to left and make an incision, and they know instinctively that what they'll do is feign inside and then go back through the play the ball area. Now, it doesn't work out exactly as they liked, but they know each other's game so well, how they step, how they go. Cleary darts back to the inside, finds Luai, he steps, swivels, gets through the line. He knows his little mate will be there. Cleary comes up with a one-handed grab to score the try.
Well, Gus, it's a great partnership, isn't it? Cleary, Luai. It was the vision of Cleary first, just to see that it was the outside men of Newcastle Knights in and around that mark area, so he knew there was going to be an opportunity. And he found Luai, and he danced around a couple of the defenders. He showed some great balance, great agility to find the line. Just watching this replay, looks open, comes back to the short side. Look at Luai here, just look at this little goose step. Frizzell falls on the ground.
Yeah.
That's class.
He could sidestep you in a phone box. He could tap dance on a sixpence. It's a great place to attack. When you've made a bit of an incision in the opposition team, it's a great place to attack back through the play the ball, even if the play the ball's on the sideline. And that's just another little part of the combination and the awareness of these two, that even though it was in the first 5 minutes of the game, I've gone down the edge, we've got them stretched a little bit. Let's go back through them.
This headphone thing's a bit. No, it's all right. No, I don't. Yeah. Yeah, it's wiggling. That's all right.
We've got 10 seconds left. Yeah. Wait there, mate.
Well, the fireworks, I think, scared all the glass off, but they'd have liked that one. Nathan Cleary, 6 tries in 8 games against Newcastle. Amazing little bit of combination there with Jerome Luai. They look like they had them covered well and truly for numbers, but they find holes that aren't even there sometimes. May now. Let's see what Newcastle have by way of resilience here. They're playing against a team that's only lost once this year. In fact, the Panthers are mounting the best premiership defence since 1995, when the Raiders also at this same stage of the year were 12-1 after they won the comp in 94. Now that is some stat. And their defensive stats are better than last year. They're conceding less than 2 converted tries a game. Eisenhuth dunked.
And the Raiders didn't win the comp that year either. It's not much how you start, it's how you finish, but it's an impressive start to the season for the defending premiers, isn't it? It comes on the back of 2 outstanding seasons. They've hardly lost anything over the last 3 years. Occasionally they lose the toss, that's about all they lose.
Well, a few of them feeling a loss on Wednesday. Let's see if they can rebound here and restock the confidence.
I want to ask Cameron Smith, when you're backing up after an origin, did it make a difference if you'd won or lost that origin? Did you feel differently about it?
No, I felt the same each time, no matter it was a win or loss. Gus, I was pretty lucky through that little period. We probably had a lot more wins than we did
Never
losses.
lost.
But
Never lost.
we did, Tomo. We had losses. But I think you have a lot of confidence coming out of Origin. The main feeling I had, Gus, was that you come back to club level and it actually felt like a bit of a training run because the pace of the game slowed down so much. And if you remember back to only last Wednesday, the pace of that game was just incredible.
Marcus, here. Hold it. Wait for it. Go two. Watch out of play two.
Here's the outside man for the Panthers.
Great, Jacob. Hold it.
To'o on the right wing. He played left for New South Wales. There's a switch for him. And I wonder if a big game by Coruscant might give Brad Fittler something to think about. Kick out, charging.
Last one, Evie. Tyson straight. Hold it. Play the ball.
Wrapped up nice. That's a good battle. Kick out for Frizzell. Another high one. And this one's wobbling up there. Edric Lee took it pretty well there in the end. Martin on kick chase drags him down on the 10. Here goes Inari Tuala. Ooh,
Up now, James.
big shot.
Right here, up
Fisher
here.
Harris.
Hold.
So we got rep round coming up, Gus. A few of these Kiwis. How long has it been since they played Test football? 3 years. Fisher Harris. He'll be get a New Zealand jumper back.
Yeah. Internationals have been on the back burner, haven't they, throughout the whole COVID period? But thankfully we'll get some international football this year and then the World Cup at the end of the year over in the UK, which is good news.
Oh, that one looked like it was headed over the sideline on the full there, but Edwards took it.
A lot of the Pacific Island players throughout the clubs are very, very excited being able to represent their country again. Of course, the last time Australia played, they lost to Tonga in 2019. We really haven't talked about that a lot because COVID interrupted everything following the next couple of years.
So it's New Zealand versus Tonga in the Pacific round. Oh, that'll be brilliant. He might have a claim on the New Zealand captaincy, James Fisher Harris. It's fascinating to see what they come up with. Here goes Cleary once again, and Edric's the target. They're kicking everything towards that side of the ground. He jumps that time and took it very well. Darren, down to you.
Yeah, as you can see, the Panthers are already starting to win that field position battle. The Knights are struggling to get out of their end, and then every time they get their kick away, Edwards just seems to be making an extra 10 metres up the field. So they might have to try something different, the Knights.
Fitzgibbon now. Wholehearted toiler. Randall the dummy half. Barnett to Clifford. And then a little change of direction by Frizzell, but he was nabbed around the legs by Luai. He was 19th man for New South Wales, Tyson. And Clifford gets plenty of hang time on this. Gagai's trying to make a run through. He got a check in running by Isaac Kungor, and it's taken nicely there by Dylan Edwards at 6-0. Sunday footy from Newcastle.
Well, this has been the strength of the Panthers over the last 2 seasons as we see the first penalty of the match.
No, too slow.
It's just been their patience with the football. If you think back a couple of years ago, they tried to play that entertaining style of football, which they were quite good at, but what it invites errors. But very rarely do you see this outfit come up with errors, particularly coming out of their own end. And as Lockie just mentioned, they complete at a high percentage. It just applies pressure to the opposition. They win the field position battle. It starts to frustrate. Well, today it's the Knights.
Here's Leota running hard in centre field. Jacob Saifidi part of that tackle, so too Fitzgibbon. Coruscant looked left but played right, and Martin running it. Hitting a good tackle there. He's... oh, look at that.
Back over the top.
There was a knock-on call initially, but then a call came from, I'm assuming, a touch judge.
Let me know what you're doing first.
Yeah, we heard it in our earpiece here.
Okay.
Saying, no, that's a penalty. And the Panthers go back on the attack.
No 2 points. They're looking to go up in 4s and 6s now. Leota Tackled by Clemmer and Barnett. 11 metres short. Eisenhuth. Tackled one-on-one. Oh, no, he got it away. Lovely pass. Coruscant. Can Coruscant burrow? He can get over the line, but look at that. The Knights wrap themselves around the ball like a Christmas present.
Wait there, two.
Nice late offload there from Eisenhuth, who's trying to play the Isaiah Yeo role today and does it pretty well too. You see him into first receiver a lot and dictating the direction of play.
Barnett's got blood on his face as Coruscant works with Cleary. One bounce, top off from close in. Oh! They're just dragging down Tuala and Kalen Ponga. Danger here for Newcastle. Cleary sends it back. Eisenhuth soft hands. Luai kick out. They got numbers. They don't need any other numbers apart from the number 11. That's all they need. Kick out.
Okay, go with it.
When he first gets his ball, Viliami kick out, he's thinking, I've got a man outside me and I've got two men to beat here. And then he realises he's 6'6", 120 kilos and says, you know what, I don't need anyone. I'll just do this myself. And he pins the ears back and drives his way towards the in goal. You watch this, Isuzu MUX replay. Some nice play up the back here. And again, there's a quick hands pass here to get it to kick out. Here he is, he thinks about outside and it says, no, out of my way, out of my way. And then he goes.
He's left Ponga in his wake here as well. He saw a shot of him on his knees with the trainer. He's up now. Darren?
Yeah, he's up, but he's coming off for a HIA. Ponga. A little bit worried about his jaw there as a Queenslander, but yeah, kick out. But the Fisher Harris, when he was sort of not in the line, and then he works hard to come back into the line to create the decoy here. You see there, just late back into the line. But that's a sign of a good team. Just those little effort areas there to create the decoy, then gives the space to kick out. And again, he attracts so many defenders, but you can't stop him from there.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a whack there, Ponga.
He's having an outstanding season, Viliami kick out, in a lot of aspects of his game that are developing. You know, we all know the big charges and the passes and everything he does, but other aspects of his game, off the ball, away from the ball, in defence, efforts that he's making all the time throughout the 80 minutes.
Cleary with a brilliant kick, swinging it right to left. Panthers have flown out here, but real concern for Newcastle. And I don't know, I'll tell you, the Queensland assistant coach is a bit jumpy up here in the commentary box. Kalen's off for an HIA. Let's have a look at that incident. No wonder he's agitated up here. Cam, he's got Viliami kick out like a train flying towards him, and he got his head in the wrong spot.
Kurt Mann, he's gone to fullback for the Newcastle Knights.
And we'll see Viliami kick out playing for Fiji in the rep round. Very passionate about playing for his country.
They put together a very good side, I'd imagine, the Fijians. Oh, look at this one by Cleary. Oh, Edric, he took it with fingers pointed up, and he's carrying it in one hand. He's showing off. He's showing off.
He's been pretty casual under the high kicks all day, but that one there, he just got up with a big smile on his face.
He's laughing.
He said, oh, is that all you got, Nathan?
Well, he'll never die of stress. That's the most relaxed catch I've ever seen in my life.
Here's Kurt Mann. Haven't seen him since round 7. Now David Clemmer. Put down Cleary and Leota, they're combining. Clifford, that ball's really sitting up there in the wind.
I felt it was a little bit behind the Panthers in the first half. Even though it's Wesley, it was sort of coming down the ground a little bit for mine. So you can see a bit of the difference in the kicking. Cleary's are just taking off. Bit of breeze under them. Darren Lockyer.
Well, the Panthers won the toss and they elected to go that way, so that suggested they think the wind's behind the back.
Yeah, they've read the conditions pretty well, it would seem. Newcastle need an extra club or two from their end. Here goes Taylor May. Equals second on the NRL try scoring list behind Alex Johnston. Taylor. Now Luai shows speed to get away from the big man. That was Clemmer chasing, and kick out dinks one through. There was a bouncer for Dominic Young. He got up and took that pretty nicely, actually. Now we've got a Panther down. That's Luai, I think. Yeah, he might have copped some sort of contact after kicking that.
Yeah, I think he actually came up with a pass. He was ready to kick on tackle 5 and they rushed him and he darted across field and found kick out. I'm not sure whether or not he was hit after he passed the ball.
Oh, Clemmer with a line break.
Well, that's exactly where Luai would have been defending. They were a man short there, probably not aware.
Yeah, Luai's in strife. He's trying to get back there, but it's taken him a long time to get back to his feet. Oh, no, wow. 6 again call, and the Knights knock it on. They have wasted the call there.
I've got a knock on.
They're going to challenge it.
You want to challenge it?
Let's have a look at Luai.
Got a knock on?
Oh, yeah. And his ribs rattled after he passed the ball.
Jerry. Yeah, but that's on tackle 1. Knights are challenging the knock on.
Captain's challenge. Lucky we never had this when Cameron Smith was the captain. Fair dinkum. We'd have been here all day. He challenged everything. There might be a little strip in there.
Penrith defenders are just making a tackle. The ball is knocked on.
Wow.
Challenge is unsuccessful.
Wow. Go to the top of the class, Mr.
Challenge
Bunker.
is unsuccessful. No challenges remaining.
Who's in the bunker today?
Jared Sutton.
Jared Sutton's in the bunker.
Yeah.
Well, that's a common sense one. Don't normally expect that. Ball security. Sure, I don't know. You know, hold on to the ball. If you lose it, you drop it. Hands on the ball.
Just looking at Jerome Luai, he's fielding himself on the wing. So whether he's just keeping himself out of the action for the next little bit, we'll just keep an eye on him.
Mitch Kenny is mobile on the Panthers bench here. So we'll stand by to see whether Luai keeps on keeping on. He's all right now.
Yeah, he's a tough boy, mate. He won't be going anywhere.
They're all tough.
He knows all his mates are watching.
Oh. Not too many tougher than this lad. Fisher Harris on the 30. Coruscant away for Eisenhuth. They came racing up. Milford came out of the line there. Eisenhuth tried to duck into the gap but didn't quite have the speed. Now Coruscant, they laid up on their... Oh, yes, Milford got a good contact on Liam Martin.
Good shot. Good shot.
Here we go. A ball across the kick-out's coming. He got checked. It's hit Tungo's arms and it's a knock-on.
20 metre.
Oh, kick-out got buffeted off the ball there. He had himself right in the firing line.
Here. 0.
They squeezed him up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Tungo was a little bit slow getting back into the action as well.
Yeah, he's a centre on this side where Young's and they've received a penalty.
And Kickow was very quick off the line there to assert a little bit of authority, and the referee said no, too quick. They've conceded the penalty.
If you're Newcastle Knights, you'd want to be aiming your attack down their right side, Penrith's left. Tungor a little bit, he's hobbling at the moment. That's a leg or an ankle injury. We'll find out. And we spoke about Luai as well.
And Clifford for Barnett. Now Milford, haven't seen him with much football so far. Man And linking up with an Ari Tuala, who's over at left centre today. Played on the Panthers 30, in from the eastern side of the ground. Jacob Saifidi, no Daniel today because of injury. He played that very quickly. Here goes Chris Randall. Excellent tackle, Coruscant. Newcastle with their first genuine hope of scoring down the Panthers' end of the ground. Saifidi trapped with it again. He had a week and a bit in camp with the Blues. Away to Clifford. Clemmer at first receive. They tried to get him away with Luai. Then Gagai flung it out the back to Dominic Young.
Last one, no touch. Hold here, last one. Hold here, hold. Go.
Clifford. It's up there for a chase. Oh, who caught that for Penrith? That's Nathan Cleary.
Wait for it. Wait.
All I could see was Newcastle jumpers coming like waves, and somehow Cleary's come down with the ball.
And their main chaser was Edric Lee. That was commitment by Nathan Cleary. He's got an extra half a foot in him, Lee. But he did well to get up and win the ball for his team. It's a great captain's play.
Brilliant. Fisher Harris runs straight at Jake Clifford. And Clemmer in there to help. Every Cleary kick has gone towards Edric Lee's side of the ground. He links up with Dominic Young, who's pulled through the line. He's beaten them all, Dominic Young. And he's carrying Taylor May with him. That is a sensational run.
Winger to winger, it always works.
Man now for Milford. Newcastle chant at 12-0 in favour of the visitors. The locals want to try here. Barnett for Clifford, for Tyson Frizzell. Good determined run there. Kick out and Coruscant making the tackle together. Randall plays left to Barnett, then Milford joins in, then Mann's out there, and then here's Big Edric again. He slips the ball away somehow. It's on the ground this time, and it is a knock-on from Penrith.
That's really brilliant defence from the Panthers. Just watch this up from high. Newcastle have actually got them outnumbered the whole way, but watch the way they maintain their composure, their body angles, and they move as one. Newcastle have actually got them outnumbered here, and then they'll just stop, paddle, paddle, paddle. They all wait, they all work together, and they solve the problem really easily. Other teams, they race out of the line, or someone comes running in, or someone says, I'll solve this by myself. You've got to solve it together. The communication's really important.
Well, that's just a wonderful shot. They are crammed in here again, and the Knights need to find something to bring the crowd to life. Here's Anthony Milford, shows it inside, wants to take them on himself. Oh, he ducked out of a tackle of Kickow and Luai. He's put down 9 metres short. Randall's waiting for it now. Away to Clemmer. He's going to tap onto Saifidi. Tackled by Leota. Clemmer going at them now. Too short of the line. Fisher Harris over the top. Ball played to Randall, Milford. And Fitzgibbon tackled well. Nathan Cleary out there with Liam Martin. Randall, Milford, he's going to go to the boot. He's got a couple of people chasing through. Ben Cummins, he was standing right there, and Clemmer was certainly inconvenienced, but I'm assuming what he's saying there is that he was never going to play a role and that Edwards had the kick covered.
The bodies went everywhere. They were like 10 pins.
Emma, you've got an update on Kalen Ponga.
Huge news for not only the Knights but also the Maroons. Kalen Ponga will not be back. Went off for that head assessment. It was a Category 1, Matt, which means he's automatically ruled out. Now the Knights have a 7-day turnaround. They've got Canberra next Sunday, so big news for them.
So no suggestion of fractures or head injuries?
No, not at this stage, Gus. They're saying just the head injury, but keep an eye on him.
Oh, what a kick by Cleary! It's not a 40-20, it's a 35.
Yeah.
30-5, that is.
Like I said, I felt that breeze could be a little bit in their favour, particularly up high, and Cleary has put the ball high all day. And it just takes off when he hits it. And watch this, bang. It's a really good thump at it, and the ball kicks away on the hard surface, and a 40-20 puts them right on the attack.
Wow, that's an enormous kick by Cleary. Real pressure on Newcastle's goal line defences now. Cleary for Martin. Randall's in there with Barnett and David Clemmer. They're a couple out from the line now. Coruscant left to Cleary around the back. Luai one-handed Tungle. Ducked under Gagai, gets it away. May picks it up, and another try to the Panthers. They are in a mood.
Yeah, it's just like they're playing with their brothers in the backyard, isn't it? Now, some of this can be coached, but a lot of it can't. A lot of it's just natural ability. The coaching part is to get them all in position and to run the play and to identify where the opposition might be a little bit short. But have a look at the individual talents in this, as Newcastle Knights do everything they can to close it down. A line out deep to the left. Well, here's the Cleary 40-20. Another good look at this thumping kick downfield to put them on the attack by Suzu MUX replay. But then the play itself, watch this, from the far post, out the back. Out the back, that's the coaching part. Now comes the individual talent, the one-handed pass, the dip back in field, dig in, get the right-hand pass over the top. The winger to wait for it and not overrun it. That's all instinct. What Luai does here, and his two outside men, is just absolute backyard football. The coaching part is getting them in position. Now the step, the one-handed pass, the step, the one-handed pass over the top, and the winger knowing exactly what his teammate was going to do to get the try. Darren Lockyer.
It's also the depth too. They know the Knights are going to come and rush out like they've been doing, and they haven't been able to stop at the Knights. But it's getting that depth and then running and getting the timing right. And then, as you say, Gus, it's the individual brilliance with the skill, the feet, the hands. And you see Nathan Cleary about to take this kick from the sideline. He nailed the one from here earlier. Let's see how he goes this time.
Oh, he's done it again.
Conversion attempt by Nathan Cleary was successful. 12 minutes remaining here in the first half. Penrith Panthers 18, leading the Knights 0.
Darren's back on the bench.
Time out, run again, Lachlan. Thanks, mate. Okay, time back on when you're ready, Jake.
It's 18-0. The Panthers are in red-hot form here in Newcastle. Luai takes the kick. Scott Sorensen, who has had 20 consecutive NRL wins, is on the field now. Kalen Ponga gone for the game, back on the bench. Cam, I'm sure they're scratching their heads, Newcastle. How do they stop the momentum here, firstly?
Well, it's a difficult one, isn't it? When you're coming up against the form team of the competition, and they're just so good at grinding out wins. As I mentioned, they're a very different side to what we've seen a couple of years ago with the flair and the special trick plays that they used to have. They just grind out wins now. All of a sudden, as we look at the scoreboard, it's 18-0. They haven't had to try too hard at what they're doing. But when you get opportunities, you've got to make the most of them. And we've seen Newcastle had a couple of sets down on Penrith's try line not so long ago, and they just didn't come up with the right plays.
Oh, pressure pass for Edric Lee. Martin and Kenny were waiting for him there. Here's Kurt Mann now. That's good yardage. Gets Newcastle out within 9 metres of the halfway. Barnett for Leo Thompson. He's made an impression in his first year in the NRL. He was playing rugby union not all that long ago. Barnett, Clemmer, Milford, Mann, Tuala. Oh! WWF! Or WWE, or whichever one you want. You could go in all of them with that back slam. Milford with a hanger. Edwards with a catch. We've got a somersault as well. We've got the WWE and the gymnastics all at once. What about the back slam? It was like the old wrestlers Gus used to go and see at the City Sports Ground.
Tag team wrestling, Horton Pavilion, Friday nights. Dominic Danucci, Mario Milano, Skull Murphy. They were the days. Haystacks, Calhoun.
Was Hulk Hogan out there?
Oh, he was years later. Years and years later. He wouldn't have lived with the old brigade. They used to take ladders and chairs and everything into the ring.
He just looked for that cross kick, cross body kick again. Cleary. This time, Kurt Mann was onto it.
You played with Kurt Bean down in Melbourne, Cameron, didn't you? He came down there as a young fella.
Yeah, he was there for a couple of seasons with Melbourne, made his NRL debut.
Very versatile. He never really settled into one position, did he?
No, he didn't, and I think that's why it was quite attractive to Craig Bellamy. You know, he could play pretty much any position in the back line. He even shuck him in the middle of the field for a stint. And we've seen the early parts of this year, Gus. We see a high tackle there on Clifford. He's a tough player. He's only a smaller man, but he's a very tough player. He played the first 7 rounds at 13, I believe.
Well, they need a try here, the Knights, just to get the fans back into this. They love their Sunday footy up here in Newcastle. They're here, they're rugged up. And at the moment, they've got a duck egg on the scoreboard. They've got to produce something.
Well, these are the opportunities I was talking about. You don't get many against Penrith. This is where you got to make it count.
Milford paying close attention to him, understandably. Dangerous footballer. Kenny, an early entrance into the game for Mitch.
I know it's hard when you're 18-0 down, but even a tackle 2 or tackle 3 kick behind the line.
Milford, bullet ball. Tuala racing onto it. They tackled really well there. To'o with an excellent read. And 5 out from the line where he played it. Milford sends it away to Barnett now. Dummies, no one took it. And the Panthers, seems like there's 3 and 4 waiting for every Newcastle player when they have the ball at the moment. Randall plays left, Milford again. He tries to send Fitzgibbon through. No opening, Crichton shuts him down. Good. Milford along the ground, Kickout's back there. Can he get back? Oh, not even Viliami Kickout can get back from there.
And that's one of the things I'm saying that Viliami's really improved in his game is his awareness and his effort levels off the ball. He saved a try against the Bulldogs last week. Same sort of thing, grub a kick into the in goal, and there he was reading the play. A quick line drop out from the Panthers has got them napping. Look at this. They said, we'll back our fitness. Line drop out. We don't need a rest.
80 metres.
Kicked it over to Newcastle Knights, who were nowhere near ready. The quick line drop out.
Oh, and then Leany launches himself at Leo Thompson's ribs, and they're 10 short of halfway.
Well, that's what makes them so good, isn't it, Gus? They're looking to attack you in every moment of the game, every play.
Well, they're making you feel uncomfortable. They're just going to back their fitness. Usually teams wait around and wait for the shot clock to wear down and straighten their shorts and straighten their jerseys. Cleary said, give it here. Chase that.
It's gone behind everyone. Look out! To'o's got it. He's got Panthers everywhere. He sends it on the inside. Nathan now, he's trying to find someone. Flings it over to Luai. Luai inside. Tungo can't bust out of the tackle. Incredible attack. Oh, the Knights defence is on life support here.
That's only tackle 2.
This will be 6 again, surely. Oh, I thought he was about to put his arm up there. Cleary, Crichton, To'o in the corner. It was a 6 again. It didn't matter anyway. They score on the next ruck. And To'o with a wonderful finish after a magnificent passage of play.
It goes right back to the quick line dropout. Kick out, diffuses the grubber kick. Panthers quickly get in position. Within 5 seconds, Cleary's kicked the dropout. Isuzu MUX replay. Then they get up and bustle in defence. This is the result from their defence. To'o into the backfield. Cleary, dummy, heads back across field. He'll find his 5'8" partner. Where are you, buddy? There you are, I feel you. There's Luai, back inside of Tungo. He'll take the tackle. Then he'll come back to Cleary on the right-hand side of the field. They only need 2 tackles to set up. Perfect position. Bang, out the back, Crichton, so talented. Flick pass. And To'o, who picked up the scraps back on the other side of halfway, finishes it off in the right-hand corner for a brilliant team try.
Well, the man that started it, he finished it up the other end, Brian To'o. He probably could have looked to his right-hand side when he made that original break. He had Stephen Crichton looming up, and he may have finished it off right there on that first play. There was only 2 tackles later when they shifted it out to the right-hand side. Nathan Cleary deep into the Knights defensive line again, and that's a special talent to hold off a defender and then flick with the right hand. Down to you, Lockie.
Well, they're 20 from 20 completion rate, Penrith, and it's not like they haven't thrown the ball around. It's just the patience, but still be able to play football. And the break there and the Nathan Cleary pass to Jerome Luai was unbelievable. But again, they just took the tackle. They didn't force it. They knew there was an opportunity. They held the football, and then they went to the right-hand side there and just executed the play again as Nathan Cleary sets it up. This one will be tougher on the other side of the field. We'll have to almost have like a reverse curl on this one.
Let's see if he can hit that fade. And he's got the draw going from the other side of the ground.
Yeah, I think he tries to hold it up into the wind usually. He doesn't like to fade it. They're 22-0 in front. He might try it, I don't know. But generally, I think you're laying a little bit straighter and try and hold it into the breeze with his draw.
But look at that ball, Gus. He's aiming at the left-hand uprights. Just to see where he starts it off his boot. Reverse swing back through the uprights.
Oh, he's in brilliant form with the boot.
I've seen too much of him, mate.
Nathan Cleary converts the Panthers try from the sideline. Just on 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Penrith Panthers 24, leading your Knights 0.
Dominic, time you run. Okay, mate, time on.
Well, the stats say this is a perfect half of football for Penrith. 20 of 20.
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
You might equal it, but you won't better it. And it's not as though the Newcastle Knights have done a lot wrong. I mean, once they get close to their line, the Panthers have had a bit too many options for them. But other than that, I think the Knights are really having a crack. They're trying hard. There's just a difference in talent level here at the moment.
Here's Edwards, the running man. Runs for more metres than any player in the competition, and he's got a rapid play the ball as well. Here's Kenny. Tackled by Leo Thompson on the halfway line. Oh. Is Edric going to take this nonchalantly? Oh, yeah. He had to show a little bit more urgency than the last one.
Looks like he's catching butterflies in the park.
Well, Gus, you spoke about Newcastle. They'd be pretty happy with the way they've played in the first half. I agree. They've only come up with 2 errors. They're 14 from 16. Any other week, they'd be pretty happy with that. They've actually had an extra play the ball inside opposition 20. It's 12 compared to 11 for Penrith.
6 again now. Penrith offside out wide. Kurt Mann.
Yeah, you've got to keep it in perspective. I mean, we've seen it for the last couple of years. There's been a big division in the competition, talent-wise, and the top sides are just way out in front. And that's hard. You know, we've got coaches losing their jobs and people putting pressure on teams. You know, sometimes it just comes down to talent. And that's where we are in the competition at the moment. These top sides are very, very good.
Sorry, Gus. Milford on this right-hand edge this time, coming around to link up with Clifford, his halves partner. Ball played. Frizzell. Clifford to Clemmer, and he played 76 minutes in their last game against the Warriors, David, and I don't think he's had a break so far, no.
He's actually in pretty good form.
Yeah. Frizzell charges onto it. Mitch Kenny, Jerome Luai, the defenders. The held call came before the offload.
Hold there. Tackle. Go.
Can they manufacture something out of a kick here? A kick for Edric Lee, perhaps. Oh, Edric. He catches another butterfly. It's off a Panther. It goes back. Cleary dives on it. Airpole State of Origin is returning to Optus Stadium, Perth for Game 2 with tickets starting at $49. Do not miss your chance to witness Australia's greatest sporting rivalry. Head to nrl.com/tickets right now. Tungor for Luai, kick out now. He's one-on-one with Gagai, who halted him, but he gets an offload out the back to Luai, who's waiting again, and Penrith have got numbers over the right. Cleary, a one-bouncer. Crichton's got it. He's trying to position top. Step, nearly through, pulled over.
Well, they attacked them on both sides of the field in one play there.
Coruscant. Away to Edwards. How did he get the ball? Clear is about to catch it. And Sorensen on the backup. He steps inside of Young, but they come to claim him 11 metres out.
Last play.
It's like watching David Copperfield out there at the moment. They're illusionists.
Straight a marker.
They've got a penalty there, Penrith. If he let that play, I reckon they score in the left-hand corner.
Well, I think there was a forward pass. I think what had happened, Coruscant tried to get out of dummy half, and they got offside to tackle him, and he came up with a bit of a bungle. Nathan Cleary points to the post, and he'll take the 2 on half-time, but some brilliant football again.
So Cleary will see the half out with one at point-blank range.
Those last 3 plays, that looked like backyard footy.
It was crazy.
Backyard footy.
Aren't they supposed to have heavy legs? They've got 6 blokes backing up from Origin. So Cleary has completed what might be the best half of football from any team this year. They've been untouchable. The Premiers charging here in Newcastle in Sunday footy. David Clement trying to bark some life into his troops, who I have to say look somewhat despondent heading off into the change rooms. They're wondering what's hit them. The Panthers 26 over Newcastle 0 at the break.
Yes, the second half is here. Will the Panthers run away with this one, or will the Knights mount a comeback? It's back to Matt Thompson in commentary.
Thanks, Danica. What a half of football from the Premiers. Just the one loss this season. That was against Parramatta at home a couple of weeks back. They lead 26-0 here, and their form in the first half flawless. They completed 21 of 21, and Newcastle with it all to do. A reminder, State of Origin 2 is 2 weeks away today. We'll be getting close to kick-off. 7 p.m. our coverage starts on June 26 from Perth, from Optus Stadium. Don't be late, Gus. 3 hours behind in Perth. Make sure you set your alarm.
I won't be late, baby.
Now, you've played at Optus Stadium, Cam. You played with Melbourne.
Yeah, I played there. I played in the opening weekend of the stadium when it was released to the sporting world, the general public. Fantastic arena to play in. Big crowd. I think their capacity is about 75,000. It's going to be enormous for Game 2, boys.
Blues have won the only Origin game played there so far. Now a swirling kick-off to start, and Dane Gagai was awake to that and took it well.
Big job for Newcastle coach Adam O'Brien at half-time, to convince his team to stay up for the next 40 minutes and keep playing this play-by-play, set-by-set, all the way to the end. They're not going that badly. Don't let the scoreboard eat into your resolve and just keep battling away. You're playing against the best, so give them your best. And for the
Barnett for Thompson, there's a good run.
For Panthers, it's can you maintain the quality? Can you maintain the rage right to the end? Although we've seen them do that plenty of times before. Big test for the Knights here.
And Jake Clifford. And Edwards with a solid take. And he pinches 10 metres on the kick return. Might go to Darren here. Darren, just wondering about that breeze. It obviously favoured the Panthers in the first half. Is it still there? Does Newcastle get the benefit here?
I think down at ground level you can't really feel it, but I reckon up high it's still there. So if I was the Knights, I'd be kicking early. I'd try and turn the Panthers around, just try and change it up a bit, get down the other end, put some pressure on them.
Coruscant for Scott Sorensen, Luai, and now kick out. If you're joining us late, Kalen Ponga failed an HIA in the first half. He got kick out. He tried to stop him from close range, and Viliami ran straight over the top of him like a coffee cup. Bang.
Cameron, the Melbourne Storm teams that you played for, there were none better at turning 20-0 into 40-0. What's the key to maintaining your quality right through the second half, even though the results probably were beyond doubt?
No, it's just staying relentless, Gus. As we've spoken about Penrith in the first 40 minutes, they completed at 100%. So I think that would have been much of the talk at half-time, was that they need to finish this job, have a professional 40 minutes in the second half. Cameron Ciraldo, who would have been all over that. And when you got players like, Cleary running the show out there, Appy Coruscant at 9, you'd expect them to do that.
He's Clifford. Geez, under pressure there from Sorensen, but he got a good strike on it.
And that's an effort play there that I'm talking about, Sorensen. His team's currently up 26-0, but he's out there putting kick pressure on because he knows that's going to help Dylan Edwards.
Well, the thing about it is, because he puts the pressure on, they've got to kick high to go over his head, and that plays into his fullback's wheelhouse right there.
And it means that they're over the halfway now, and it's tackle number 3.
Selfless acts, team-based actions. That's what they are. The fans and the media don't get it all the time, but the players you play with do.
Hand in that, no, mate, you went at the ball. This way there, mate.
And this is where it hurt the Knights in the first half, conceding penalties and allowing the Panthers a full set of 6 within striking distance. They elect not to kick for touch.
Kenny linking up with Sorensen. He eventually put him on the deck. Fitzgibbon's in there. Leo Thompson's there too. Coruscant left to Mitch Kenny, out the back to Cleary. Kick out running onto one. Did well to catch it and got it away. Ball goes behind Isaac Tungor. And look at this, Newcastle. They do well there. They came sprinting out and they win a bit of territory back.
Yeah, good hustle.
Here's Kenny. A very determined run. 24 from the Knights line now. Clear with an inside pass to Martin. Good one-on-one tackle, that one. Very important tackle, Chris Randall. Oh, and he's lost the ball. So good work there by Newcastle in defence.
Middle, we go in the middle here.
And that's their first incompletion of the game. It was on tackle 6, but it goes down as an incompleted set.
I think it might have got stuck in Liam Martin's hands.
Probably all that gooey stuff they put on their hands. You couldn't have had that on your hands, Cameron.
No.
Why do they put all that gooey stuff on their hands?
I've got no idea.
Like, you were touching it more than anyone else and you didn't do it.
No, and I used to get a little bit upset with the boys early in the match when they used to spray it all over their hands, and every time they play the ball it would touch mine. But anyway, Lockie.
Yeah, at half-time they would have got a fresh dose of that. Normally the big boys, the forwards, they get stuck into it, but you always had a towel cam. It's like whenever there was a break in play, you'd get the trainer to bring a towel over. You used to just slow it down, slow it down, slow it down.
It's like those tennis blokes having a serve.
he had a ball boy, his own personal ball boy.
In the old days, we used to have that what is it, resin or rosin or something? Yeah. They used to have all that stuff. They put it on the table, you'd rub your hands in it. It was powdery stuff.
Oh.
I saw a linesman rub his flag in it one day, so he didn't drop it.
Powdery stuff? I'm sure it wasn't concrete mix.
I thought that was really good thinking. He rubbed the end of his flag in it so he wouldn't drop it during the contest. That's thinking.
Milford.
Good kick.
Yeah, the kick for Edric Lee. Edric tries, the ball beat him.
That's the one. That's what I was talking about earlier. That kick on tackle 2 or 3 while Dylan Edwards is up in the line. He's pretty quick. He can retreat quickly, but I think if this ball doesn't go into touch, Edric Lee might have won the race. They're the sort of things that can break up the Panthers' defence. Look at that. There's the side. Sunset out in the west. Beautiful Sunday evening in Newcastle.
Meter eaters. He's one of them. One of the best. Brian he's up there, but not as many as Dylan Edwards. Runs for 220-something metres a game on average, Dylan Edwards. Dominic Young there as well. He's made a couple of good busts here this afternoon.
The referees and linesmen used to come in before the game and they check if you had rings on, or they check your boots and check your studs. They still do that?
Yeah, I think they have a look at your footy boots. There's not many screw-in studs in the boots these days, Gus. It's all moulded. Oh. Look at this spiral bomb.
Gee, that's a kick. Young, he went backwards. He had no hope of catching that. For Newcastle, the bounce was very kind. What a kick.
Well, they learned their lesson from the first half. Edric Lee he caught everything they tossed at him. But they still get in there, Gus. Check your nails. Make sure they're nice and short. Can't scratch anyone.
I'd have seen some interesting things in the old Newtown sheds back in the day, I would have imagined, Gus. Here's Barnett.
I can tell some stories.
Clifford. He gives the ball an almighty thwack, doesn't he? And there's a pass for Todd. Oh, he's beaten Gagai. He's beaten another one. That was Fitzgibbon.
I think in the real old days, back in the 50s and that, the 40s, you had to nail your studs in. They didn't have screw-in studs. They were nailed in.
What?
I'm pretty sure if someone's got an old pair of boots at home, they might be able to back that up for me. But I think that's why it all started, because they had to check that they were nailed in properly.
Oh.
Screw-in studs didn't start until the 70s.
Here's Spencer Leniu.
Moulded studs, we'd never heard of those.
Cleary searching. He finds Crichton. Lovely backhand ball to
Look at that.
Brian Todd. They had to be quick in the scramble, Newcastle, and they were. Cleary plays long for Luai. Then to kick out, who puts the kick through himself. The Panthers coming after it. It's been bobbled. It'll be a try. Isaac Tumor.
I've said this a number of times before, but Viliami Kickout could play halfback or 5'8" if you asked him to. He's got a wonderful skill set. And just watch the weight on this kick from the big back rower. Luai thought about the kick, but then he thought, you know what, I'll give Luai Kickout a chance, and he comes up with a perfectly placed grubber kick. Isuzu MUX replay. Luai thinks about it, thinks about it, gives it to Kickout immediately, feathers it into the in goal, perfect weight. Does he get it down? Yep, no problem. Brilliant.
Oh.
Well, it's the skill of his game, Gus, isn't it? Viliami Kickout has shown us in 2022. And he's got a lot of skills, but his kicking game, I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks ago where he dropped the ball onto the boot.
Yeah.
He had two defenders on him. He was able to hold his balance and set up another try. But just have a look here, just sums it up beautifully. He's got the defenders up all in one line. Well, Kurtman was there. He just took the eyes off the football.
He's nailed another one.
Time.
Conversion by Nathan Cleary was successful. 29 minutes remaining in the second half. Penrith Panthers 32 leading on Knights 0.
Oh, yeah.
Time out run.
6 from 6 for Nathan. Perfect kicking and a perfect skyline. Look at that. Glorious. One of the most underrated parts of the eastern seaboard, Newcastle. If you're a beach goer, it doesn't get much better than the beaches here around Newcastle camp. Get out there on the surfboard.
Oh, I had a look at the surf today. It's quite big.
Is it?
But I'm a little bit scared of sharks.
Who isn't? I haven't met anyone who's not.
You were scared of Paul Gallen.
Not the sharks, the footy side, Gus. Come on, mate.
All right, okay. There's no letting up here from the Panthers, is it? It's still all quality. Another big high spiralling kick from Cleary up into the breeze.
Oh, Edric!
Edric gives it the juggle and the one-handed grab.
Don't worry, everyone. I had it under control.
I think he does that just to tease the fans. Lets you think he's going to drop it. And he runs away with a big smile on his face.
So here's Young. I know Andrew's got a big rap on this man, Dominic Young, 200 centimetres. 8 tries in the season.
Jamaican-born.
Yeah.
Jamaican-born Englishman.
Tallest man in the comp.
Speaks with an English accent.
Does he?
Yep. But Jamaican. Boom, he's got some on that.
Not wrong.
Good catch.
He's got the Cool Runnings dreadlocks, hasn't he, Dominic Young?
Yeah, just came out from UK because he wanted to see the world, he wanted to see Australia, and he wanted to play rugby league out here. There was no real promises before he got here. Just took it upon himself as a young man to come out and give it a shot.
Here's Tungor, one of the St Mary's juniors. There's a lot of them in the Panthers system. A very prolific club when it comes to providing talent in the NRL. Spencer Leniu with all of his wonderful leg speed there. Ball played back to Coruscant. Cleary again. This is an end-over-end kick. Kurtman.
Oh, dear.
Oh, the Panthers was... Edwards was taken out.
Now, Dylan Edwards gets back with Nathan Cleary and sprints hard after this.
Tyson ran him off, mate.
And there's a Newcastle player that isn't aware that there's 11 cameras around the ground.
Ran him off you.
And thought he'll just try to get away with this. Watch this. Dylan Edwards keeps him on side. Newcastle player who was Tyson Frizzell said, "You're not going anywhere near. You're not going anywhere near that."
Well, he gave himself away with the ball in the air. He pointed at him and then ran directly towards Edwards.
He was 30 metres away from the catch. Here they come again.
Coruscant. Foligno had a look out the back. He's only a very young man, 22, I think, Spencer Leniu. Went past his 50 NRL games this season. Coruscant gestured to kick, went out to Cleary. Luai with a change of direction as he caught the ball. A moon ball over the top there, found May. Gagai can't get him. Oh, he does get him in the end. And Young too, and they force the ball out.
Where would you like it?
Good defence.
Middle, go in the middle. Play the ball in the middle. Play the ball, mate. Yeah. But then stay straight there, Rapid.
With exquisite styling inside and out, the Isuzu MU-X is born to shine.
Here's Milford. And his third game as a Newcastle player. It's his 196th NRL game, Anthony. So he'll celebrate that double century of games, which is an elite group. And Clemmer now on the halfway. Randall. Boom. Good catch by To'o. So agile.
Already he's made 160 metres today. Brian To'o. 170 metres now. Dylan Edwards 162. Taylor May 108. Steve Crichton 126.
Early ball for kick out. He steps inside and nearly cut through them. Gagai with a desperate tackle. Tungo now sprints at the defence and played that so quickly. Coruscant, Cleary, Jamin Salmon's on the ground in 17. Milford with a tackle around the ball to wrap him up. Fitzgibbon part of that too. Coruscant, what's Cleary got? He's going to spiral it out to Luai. And Tungo can't bust through them. He tried to get a pass away. Young's there to mop it up. It was a forward pass anyway, so no advantage there.
Just watching the high shot here, how Jerome Luai is moving away from the defence while the ball's on its way. He can actually feel the defence coming his way, the long spiral pass, and he actually runs away from it before the ball gets to him to try and beat the man in the air.
Gee, there's some contact in this still, isn't there? You can hear the bodies clattering together in our effects. Microphone down there. Randall now. Here's Sorensen with a tackle. Randall playing it. Milford away for Fitzgibbon. It's the last. Oh, 6 more. Are offside.
Come on, Knights, need a try. Something for the fans.
Frizzell had some numbers out there, but couldn't force a pass away. He was wrapped up by Tungo. Tangagai. Now to Milford, finds Tuala. He left Crichton behind, and he ran straight over the top of Cleary as well.
Good run.
Plays it on Penrith's 20-metre line. Milford. Clemmer on the inside. He gets a pass out the back. There was no Newcastle player there. Salmon has got it.
Well, it's 32-0 and no one's left the ground. They're still here, the Knights fans.
Just been watching Dylan Edwards over the last 5 minutes, and here he goes here. He's taking the ball up for another run. He's edging towards 200 metres. He must be so fit, Gus. He's on every play. He chases the ball like a Kelpie. He's in and around Cleary. He's asking questions. He wants to get on the next play. Great play.
Kick out.
He's probably the fittest young footballer I've ever seen in all my time.
Luai on a pass from kick out which bounced. Then Martin's got it.
One of the features of the off-season training is the number of records he breaks every year. And they're only his own records, but every year he turns up and breaks records.
Edrick's running in. Oh, yes, Edrick.
Was it ever in doubt? Down to you, Lockie.
That was a big butterfly in that one. I'd be interested to know how many Ks Dylan Edwards runs in a game, because he just follows the ball when they've got it. And then when he doesn't have the football, he's working extremely hard to get the ball on the full. But about the crowd, Gus, it's not like they're frustrated with Newcastle or their own team. I think they're just respecting. There we go, 162 metres for Dylan, only in front of him. But I think the crowd's just respecting how good this Penrith team is.
He's back there again, Dylan.
Well, every pre-season he's turned up that I've ever known, he's just broken records.
So what's
at every distance?
What are we talking distances here? What are the
can be anything from 2.5 kilometres to 1.2 kilometres to, you know, the beep tests that they do, the repeated actions that they do. He's the last man standing in everything. Easily one of the greatest trainers I've ever seen in all my time in rugby league.
Wow.
They'll have repetition sprints, you know, and it could be anything from 80 metres to 180 metres or whatever. They'll have repetition sprints, and on each sprint, someone will try to challenge him. A different bloke every time, and he'll beat them all.
That's remarkable. Pass goes behind.
Darren Lockyer.
Just went and asked the bench, one of the trainers at the Penrith there, and asked him how many clicks do you reckon Dylan gets through in most games, and they say about 9Ks.
Yeah. Usually between about 8.5 and 9.5 he'll get.
Might get David Middleton on the case and find out how that compares with the other fullbacks in the competition in terms of distance covered. Might be one for 100% footy tomorrow night, Gus. Plenty to talk about on the show.
I think the top fullbacks are all about the same, right? But he's never any less. It's the same every week with him.
Hey, Nathan, where do you want it, mate? Middle.
They put the GPS on them at training, and Nathan Cleary and Dylan Edwards clearly run further than everybody else every day, every time they train. Nathan Cleary will run 8.5K here this afternoon.
That is a spectacular sunset. Look at that.
It's brilliant. I love those pictures.
Even the sunset's Newcastle colours.
15 seconds. Okay. Clock off, Kurt, get in.
So the disappointment of Wednesday isn't resonating through the Panthers' performance. They've been electrifying. 32-0. Still plenty of time left. And kick out. Wow. He sprinted hard there. Cleary calling players under, plays out to Edwards. Lovely tap on. And an opening here for Top. Oh, he steps inside, burrows down. They just stop him. Nari Tuala amongst the players that rushed over to stop him. Cleary out for Kenny. Now Luai gets on the outside of his man, tosses it over the top. Taylor May picks it up. May is cut down by Frizzell, but they're off again quickly. And Cleary and Kenny, Lee knew would have walked over and scored there if he passed it, but he didn't. Fourth tackle. Coruscant to Cleary to Crichton. Crichton. Oh, the fuel tanks are pretty empty for Newcastle now. That was a very tired-looking defensive line, and there's no wonder because the Panthers have run them ragged.
They have, Matty. And just their ability to get back behind the football after each play. They're the best team in the competition at it. They just reset. Isuzu MUX replay on this side here on the right edge. Well, Nathan Cleary, he just had a look, and Stephen Crichton, he had a one-on-one opportunity with Nari Tuala. And Stephen Crichton, we all know he's an elite centre of this competition. The opportunity he gets like that, well, he's going to make you look silly most of the time. It's a bit of an art that's gone out of the game over the last couple of years, Gus, the one-on-one battle with the centres.
Yeah, they don't get a lot of early ball these days, do they? Sometimes they're trying to get quick passes to their wingers, but he's a real talent, this boy. And still a baby. Our GPS experts at Channel 9 have just sent us through some data that if we compare Dylan Edwards with all other fullbacks across the game, he covers an average of 129 metres more than any other fullback in the game. And per minute, his averages are the best in the game.
Today's official crowd attendance is 21,332. A big thank you to all of our members and supporters coming out to the Telstra Stadium to support your NRL Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, Liam, stay up, mate.
Just under 15 minutes left. What can the Panthers do with the scoreboard 38-0? Emma, great crowd today.
Absolutely incredible, Matt. We talk about how much they live and breathe rugby league up here. The official crowd, 21,332. I can see a couple going now with this scoreline, but gee, great turnout this afternoon.
Yeah, and look, why wouldn't they? They're watching one of the great modern teams in the Panthers, who, as I mentioned earlier, are mounting the best premiership defence since the Raiders in '95, who were also 12-1 at this stage of the year. I didn't know we had a GPS department.
Yep, our GPS department right on the ball there. But just looking through these Dylan Edwards figures, they're quite extraordinary, really, not just for fullbacks, but for any player in the game. And consistently does it every week. Even his speed is up there amongst the best in the game, but consistently getting over a certain speed, getting over 20 kilometres, getting over 30 kilometres at different stages of the game. He does it more often than any other player in the game. He averages more metres than any other player every week in the game. And you're talking about some high-class performance. You imagine what Tedesco gets through and these sorts of players as well. It's pretty elite company, the fullbacks in our game, and Dylan can't get a look at Origin football. We've had Trebojeviches and Tedescos and Guthersons and all the fullbacks we keep picking for New South Wales, and he still can't get a look. Yet regularly, week in, week out, he's running for more metres, he's running it faster, and he's running it more often.
Oh, turnover here.
Came down from Dorrigo as a 5'8". Sat on the bench for the under-18s for 12 months and didn't get a run. Just kept turning up.
Two in there. Still had
Didn't
hands on him,
his
mate.
family drive him for training every week? From
It was Liam Martin from Temora.
Right, sorry.
Yeah, Dylan might have been driven down, then he came down here. But his first year down here, he didn't get a run during the junior rep season. He sat on the bench every week. The coach never picked him. And 2 years later, he won an under-20s grand final, playing fullback, and the following year he debuted. He just persevered, kept turning up.
Luai now. And another incisive, damaging run by Fisher Harris. Stopped by Jacob Saifidi. Coruscant linking with Kenny and then Cleary. There'll be another one coming. Oh! No one anywhere near him, really. And a kiss for the camera.
Happy with it?
And the Panthers reach 42-0 now.
So there's an art playing against sliding defence that retreats. There's an art playing against defence that'll race up in your face. And they've done their homework today, the Panthers, because they know that Newcastle are going to come hard off the line. What's the depth? Isuzu MUX replay. They're not really moving. They're inviting the Knights to make some errors, and then eventually they just outnumber them on the outside. Now, some teams hang back on their try line, and you've got to run hard, and they're coming at you from the inside. But what they've learned is if they just stay back and they keep the ball nice and deep, eventually Newcastle will make an error, and they'll just pick you off, and it's awareness from there. Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, it was nice work by Nathan Cleary as well. The pass was down low and behind him, and he picked it up, stayed composed, and then got the ball out. And as you said, Gus, they get their depth. You wouldn't see teams get this much depth, but they just know that the Knights, you see here, the decoy run from Crichton as well, just gets them interested enough to then for them all to jam in, and then it's just too easy for Toto. But nice executed play by Penrith. Newcastle Knights defence, they're just out of answers.
Well, what they'll do is if they know you're going to jam up like that, they'll bunch up a little bit in the middle of the and they fan out. But next week they'll be playing a team that likes to slide and back off on their line, and they'll come at you with something different. They'll really charge onto the ball and try to drag you up. This will be a difficult kick.
No. Time.
Conversion attempt was unsuccessful. Just on 11 minutes remaining in the second half. Penrith Panthers 42, Knights 0.
Tell.
Timeout run. Whenever ready, Jake.
So the Panthers' biggest winning margin against Newcastle is 44 points. That was back in 2019. 54-10 they won. And we've got more than 10 minutes to go here. So if this pattern continues, they're going to blow that biggest winning margin away.
Well, the poor old Knights have had a tough time here at home. Granted, they've played most of the top sides. They won their first home game here in round 2, 26-4 against the Tigers. The next home game, they're beaten 30-6 by Manly. The next home game, they were beaten 39-2 by Parramatta. The next home game, they were beaten 50-2 by the Storm. The next home game, they were beaten 36-12 by the Broncos. And today, it's 42-0 with not long to go. They've been outscored 197-22 in their last 5 home games. 197-22. Poor. Yet the Newcastle faithful, they lined up today in the freezing cold and came through the gates, and everyone I asked, all the old ladies and all the old blokes, can you win today? They said, yes, go the Knights. Go the Knights.
Well, you know better than anyone, Cam. But this was always a hard road trip, wasn't it? It's parochial, and as Gus points out, they turn out in spirit. There's always plenty of vocal support for them. So if they can't win at home, it's an indication of where the club's at, I'd suggest.
Yeah, and you've got to remember they've gone through a spate of injuries earlier in this season. They're starting to get a few numbers back now, but this was always traditionally a very hard road trip, particularly on a Sunday afternoon. You're right, Matty. They love their footy. They love their footy team up here in Newcastle. You just got to find a win, find a bit more confidence in Newcastle Knights.
Here's Frizzell. Good run, Tyson. He meets Dylan Edwards, and Edwards gets him one-on-one. Good changes of direction there from the big back rower. Sasungi's on the field now. Milford sends it away. Mann joins in. Oh, there's a Panther taken out.
I'm going to start with no try.
Yeah, you see Ben Cummins. He doesn't want to give this. He's going to send it up as no try. One of the Newcastle players.
No try.
Might have taken a Panther defender away.
And Kurt Mann, if you watch Kurt Mann closely as he went for that corner post, he actually wanted to get tackled and stay in the field of play. So then they couldn't go back and look at this obstruction here. I think it's Tuala. Yeah, well, he clips Crichton on the way through. That's an obstruction.
Yep. Hunari Tuala runs at the outside shoulder of Stephen Crichton, and the Knights take an advantage. We have a decision.
No, you went your defensively. Defensive.
All right, well,
This way there, Nathan.
nice bit of attacking football there from Newcastle. But when you see, these days when you see a defender sprawled on his back, you can sort of generally tell something's gone wrong there.
Well, in that situation, that's where those lead runners or straight runners running into that space, you just got to try and get through, continue your run through. Don't stop in the line, don't slow down your run. Bad things happen. You touch a defender, more times than not, that'll be an obstruction.
I think the Panthers were trying to get Nathan Cleary to come from the field earlier on. After he missed that conversion, they wanted to replace him. And he kind of told them, no, thank you.
I think they still are, Gus. Eisenhuth's got the card. The trainer's just got on and screamed out at him and he's brushed him. Now Lee New's coming off, so Nathan's won that battle.
Yeah, Nathan's let him know who's in charge.
Do you think he would have politely said no, thank you?
No.
Here's Luai, now kick out. He tries to kick it through, the old trap and scrap theory, and Gagai's got it. Now Dane Gagai finds a bit of daylight, but the black jumpers come from everywhere. Leo Thompson with a wonky old pass, but it finds the mark. Edric. Go Edric Lee with the big long legs. Comes after him. Edric's going to get there.
Well, that's a reward. He's done a lot of hard work at the back end of the field today. Fielded all the bombs, caught all the high kicks. Had to work it out of trouble coming a lot of times, but a beautiful, beautiful long pass from the middle of the field here. Gives him a bit of space down the edge. And the tired legs of Nathan Cleary just couldn't wheel him in. And Big Edric gets a try. So for those Knights supporters that stuck around, Isuzu MUX replay. Here it goes again. Who threw that puck?
Leo Thompson.
Leo Thompson. That's a beauty. And Cleary still busting. Played Wednesday night, 80 minutes today. They wanted to take him off. He wouldn't go. And he chases right to the end.
Well, either way, that's 4 points, Gus, but that wouldn't have been in the playbook, the Knights playbook. Leo Thompson, the front rower, throwing a 25-metre cutout pass to Tuala. And Edric Lee, he's done well under the high ball today, but give him some space. He can fly. Wonderful chase by Nathan Cleary.
And so Big Edric Lee, whose career was on the brink, on the precipice of ending because of injury, was out for, I think, best part of 2 years, really. Gets himself back fit, and he'll be off to the Dolphins for a couple of seasons after this. Jake Clifford. Great kick. Edric Lee, popular footballer in the NRL. A restart from Cleary, and here comes the ball playing front row, Leo Thompson. Tackled by kick out. He's had an almighty game, really army kick out. And Young tackle, just short of the 20. Simi Sasungi. Let's say he's got a lot of skill, Simi Sasungi. Sort of ball playing back rower type. Out to man. Away to Gagai. Oh, good tackle. Good read, Taylor May. He rushed out and knocked the ball out in making the tackle.
Oh, no, it's in the tackle.
Yeah, they're all up.
Even
Even though the Knights were moving quickly and passing the ball, Panthers had them covered all the way.
Got a scrum in the middle.
And then in the end, they were able to show a bit of aggression in defence and come up with the error. 4.5 minutes left on the clock. 42-6, 7 tries to 1.
Let's go. 10 seconds, Kurt, bring him in.
The Knights are on the road for 3 of the next 5 games. They've got Canberra down in Canberra in round 15. The Panthers will head to Moreton Daily Stadium, Redcliffe, to play the Warriors next week. Here's our live ladder, and you can see the Panthers have opened up quite a gap there at the top. 2 wins over Melbourne, but the for and against, it's out of this world. Plus 264. Eisenhuth on the 20-metre line. Edwards for Crichton now with a big right foot step. Milford comes across there along with Tuala and Kurt Mann to shut him down just short of the line. Jamin Salmon, Nathan Cleary, Matt Eisenhuth. Has a hit and spin style move, but didn't promote the pass. He was tackled by Randall. Now Cleary with an inside ball, and it's a try, is it? No, held up. Fisher Harris, he doesn't get too many. He had his eyes set on a meat pie.
Time's out. Leave it there,
But
Matt.
they'll have to put it back in the warmer.
Yeah, nice little inside ball. again, those two fellas been playing together since they were 18. I've seen that little play many, many times. Fisher Harris still pumping out metres at the back end of the game.
There's still one play to go here. Oh, well taken there, Fitzgibbon.
Well, it was 26-0 at half-time. It's only 16-6 in the second half. So, as I said, Adam O'Brien had a big job at half-time just to keep this side motivated and focused, and to not concentrate on the scoreboard, but just on play-by-play efforts. And I reckon they've done that in the Knights. It's only 16-6 the second half. And that's not too shabby against a team that's in the mood the Panthers are at, and they're pretty much at full strength, other than Messiah Yo.
Oh, nearly caught that. That would have been a miraculous effort. It's a knock on anyway.
Well, they're saying it was a forward pass from the Knights, so the Panthers will have their scrum feed.
Thursday night footy, we're heading down to Wollongong with the Dragons taking on the Rabbitohs, live from WIN Stadium, 7:30 p.m. here on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
It's a big game for both sides. I don't want to be the loser of that game.
The Dragons need to find something, don't they?
Oh, I don't want to be losing that game. I think they'll have to put a big premium on those 2 points, the two teams. Dragons have the advantage of playing at home, and the Rabbitohs are beatable.
It's Andrew McCulloch's 300th NRL game as well. Cleary for Isaac Tungo. 15 metres out. 90 seconds left on the clock. The Panthers are keen here to see if they can head up home with another try. Salmon. Tuala and Milford combined to stop him. He's knocked the ball on in the ruck.
Challenge.
Oh, he's going to challenge.
He never really had hold of it.
Jerry 1-2. Captain's challenge. Panthers are challenging the lost ball.
Well, they're just not letting time run out. They want possession. They want another try. Salmon getting up to play this. Well, he's got no right to put the ball on the ground like that. He's not even on his feet.
Jamin Salmon attempts to play the ball while he is still on the ground. The challenge is unsuccessful.
He had a good day, the bunker. Every time you agree with me, you're going all right.
Ball here. Hey, no, it's a scrum, mate. Yeah. Lost ball. No challenges left. Nathan, thanks, mate.
So brilliant performance by the defending premiers, and I think pretty gutsy from the Knights. I know the scoreboard doesn't look all that flash, and it doesn't, but I thought there's been some really good individual efforts out there today. And as a team, they've stayed committed to the task. It's not like they've given up. I've seen 40-point score lines on teams where you feel like, well, they didn't really give 100%, but I think the Knights gave 100% today. Just beaten by a better team.
Wait there. No, not quick. Time. No, time. No, wait there, time. There's no time's off. Yeah, because we always review it. Just wait there, wait. The time's off. Okay, mate, time to go.
That's 10 seconds we'll never get back.
Clifford with a big booming touch finder. Have they got a trick shot to finish us with?
30 seconds.
Sasanyi, Clifford, Kurtman. The other thing to mention too, Gus, they did lose Kalen Ponga for the game in the first half.
Yeah, I think their performance has been, there's been effort there.
Yeah.
I've seen some teams get beaten by their score and you say, well, they could have tried harder. Well, they gave up on plays, or they didn't chase as hard as they could have, or it just got beyond them. But I think the Knights have tried really hard today, individually and as a group. The other side's just too good. Might be too good for everyone.
No, they've been unbelievable today. The first half, they were 26-0 and they hadn't made a mistake. They completed 21 of 21. The Knights never really had a window into this. The Premiers so committed early, and they were just all class.
And I think Wednesday night would have stung the halves. I think the criticism after the game was unwarranted, and that would have stung the halves. And they're proud kids, and they'll be looking forward to getting to Perth to square that series for the Blues. So they answered whatever critics wanted to say today. It was brilliant stuff from them.
Panthers 42, Newcastle 6 in Sunday footy from Newcastle's McDonald Jones Stadium. Great crowd, great atmosphere, and great support for the Knights, and there'll always be support for this team. And they've had a difficult campaign so far.